You're listening to Rewatch Culture, the podcast where we circle back and talk about our favorite Black TV shows that raised us, healed us, and angered us in many ways, but they are always going to live rent-free in our minds. I'm your host, Shanae, your resident elder millennial and professional rewatcher. Let's get into it. Family, back for another episode of Rewatch Culture. We are on A Different World, Season 2. We're going to get into episodes 3 and 4 today. But before we get started, I have some breaking news. Now, on this podcast, I typically don't talk about myself. I know y'all are busy out there, so I just kind of jump right into the episodes and then set us up for next week. But this week, I'm going to drop a little personal news. So, I got engaged last weekend. I'm a whole fiancée now, which is wild to even think about. I swear to you, I'm left-handed now. One of my coworkers told me he has never seen me use my left hand so much. So definitely staring at this ring, definitely so excited. And we're going to have to get into wedding planning, but we're going to give ourselves like a month to just kind of sit with being engaged before we really ramp up and pick like the venue and all the things. But I am just so excited and wanted to share that. But let's go ahead and get into our Hillman shenanigans. And we are going to start off with the way Walter was down bad for Miss Jaleesa. The episode opens with Walter and Jaleesa. They're talking about curfew. And Walter starts looking at Jaleesa up and down. You know how when you are interested in somebody and you just keep staring at them and you're scanning their whole body like you're looking for clues. And Jaleesa was kind of, I wouldn't say she was uncomfortable, but she was like, what's going on here? So she keeps kind of moving around because she peeps that Walter is looking at her. And, for a few episodes, she's been talking about how she's got this boyfriend named Eric. Then Walter starts asking Freddie who Eric is to Jaleesa. My guy, listen, the coach had a crush and it's written all over his face. Walter is so far gone that he actually goes to Letty Bostic for some advice. He's known Jaleesa for 2 years now, but suddenly it's not feeling like she's just a friend anymore. And I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate to this. You've been friends with a person for so long, and then one day you wake up and you realize, oh, they look kind of good. I think I like them as more than just a friend. That's where Walter currently is in this situation. Letty basically tells him, ask the girl out and stop being scary. So he does, and she turns him down. Ouch. Blow to the ego right there. Honestly, he should have seen that coming because he is aware that she has a man. He comes back to her and is like, hey, we will just strictly go out as friends. We can even go out at a friendly time, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, strictly friends. So Jaleesa agrees to go out with him as a friend. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, Ron and Dwayne are back with yet another business scheme. I promise you, these two are always trying to make a quick buck, but this time it was a campus wake-up service. They have to get up early in the morning to wake students up for their classes. And I'm talking early, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. First off, at 5 a.m. in the morning, I don't even know my own name. I am not a morning person by any means. In fact, the first hour that I wake up, I don't even want anybody to communicate with me. I don't want anybody to play music. I just want it to be silence. That's just who I am. And when I tell people that I am not a morning person, they are surprised because honestly, I naturally do have a lot of energy, but I'd rather be asleep. Miss Whitley sees that the boys are doing this business and she needs them to wake up her roommate, Kimberly. Now, Kimberly gets up at 5 a.m. and baby, I wouldn't even call it just sleeping. Kimberly is in there hibernating, okay? Kimberly sleeps like my dog. My dog sleeps like she worked a full shift and then she's out. That's how Miss Kimberly was sleeping. Whitley even pays the guys an extra $10 to not wake her up in the process of trying to get Kimberly up. Dwayne and Ron go into the room. They're trying to get Kimberly up. Kimberly is out like a ton of bricks. Even when they do get her up, she walks to a chair and goes back to sleep. These boys are just in this room, stumbling all over themselves. I'm surprised that it took Whitley as long to wake up as she did, but eventually Kimberly's alarm goes off and the boys can't get it off. Whitley has to get out of bed and she has to go to the alarm herself and turn it off. And even with her, how you go to sleep with the thing that covers your eyes, even with that on, Whitley held out her hand, for them to run her money back because you guys did not do what I asked you. I asked you not to wake me up, and here I am awake. So what did I need you two for? But back to checking on Jaleesa and Walter. They are out on their strictly friend date, and it's actually super cute. They're having a good time. He bribes a waiter to get the lobster that Jaleesa has been eyeing down and pisses off another couple in the process because in order to get that lobster, you actually have to order it a day ahead. So the waiter who was on his way to the table with their food gave it to Walter instead. Then that couple gets upset and storms out. And honestly, I would have been mad too because how in the world do I put my name down for something and you give it away to somebody else? No ma'am, no ham. That's not what we're doing over here. But Jaleesa and Walter are having the best time. At one point, they get up to dance, and Walter is doing goofy George Jefferson type dance, but he is keeping Jaleesa laughing. And honestly, a man that can keep you laughing, that is a cheat code every single time. Life is too short to be stiff and boring and to not smile. Get some joy in your life, you know? Ron and Dwayne eventually quit the business because they are exhausted. They forgot that when we are waking these people up early, that means we are up early. My rewatch revelation for episode 3 is when a man is genuinely interested in you, you don't have to guess. Honey, Walter made his intentions known. He was asking around about Jaleesa, he was seeking advice. He made plans. He was trying his hardest. So Jaleesa did not have to guess. She did not have to read between the lines. A man that wants you is going to move with intent. Obviously, when I was watching this as a younger kid, wasn't thinking about all of that. But, you know, growing up, getting into relationships and doing all the things. If somebody likes you, I shouldn't have to read between the lines and figure that out. Honey, stand up and make your intentions known. Now, let's go ahead and start talking about episode 4 here. I want to start off with the quote of the week because it comes from this episode. The way Whitley looks tonight, you could almost forget how mean she is. That comes from none other than Dwayne Wayne. It's Pete Dwayne. Dwayne is always smitten about some girl, but he's always still going to be shady. And honestly, it kind of sums up their whole dynamic because Whitley is so annoyed with Dwayne at every turn, but it is attraction wrapped in annoyance. So now let's set the scene. We open at the pit. A cute guy asks Whitley to dance, and she hits him with, "Me? Dance with you? The air up there must be very thin." Girl. Now, did you have to drag that man like that? A simple no would have sufficed, but as we know, Whitley can't do anything small, anything simple. She's always got to be team too much and a little bit of dramatic with it. Now, my main man, Ron here, he must not be seeing Noelle anymore because haven't heard about her. He's over here chasing any and every woman that is walking through the pit trying to get a dance. He comes up to Dwayne and he's talking about, I haven't seen you out here cutting a rug or anything like that. Dwayne is saying, because I don't feel the need to dance with every single woman who has a pulse, which I'm sorry, Dwayne, he must be growing up because do you remember who you were last season when you literally wanted every woman that even breathed? But let's call that character growth. Ron has not grown yet. He is over here talking about how he layers his fragrances. He puts 4 different fragrances together. I just know he smelled something wrong. I just know I would have been gagging. Get away from me with this Apollo. Ron is talking about how the girls are so tired because they've been in the library. So this is the perfect night to get them because they're woozy from studying. And Dwayne says, yeah, and your cologne will take them over the edge. Ron says, hey, you think just like I do. And Dwayne tells him, don't ever say that again. Dwayne honestly stays clowning Ron. And it's weird for me because me and my friends don't talk to each other like that. We lift each other up. We show each other love. I got one friend where him and I will talk crap to each other, but that's it. Everybody else, we're just so close and we're so lovey-dovey with each other. Dwayne and Ron, and I feel like it was always more Dwayne, low-key stayed clowning Ron. And I don't know, tell me if y'all picked up on that, and if you did, what are your thoughts about it? But him and Ron are still having this conversation either way, and you can see that Dwayne is busy staring at Whitley. Okay, staring hard. Ron tells him, go ahead and leave that sniper alone because she has literally turned down every man in the room that has asked her to dance. But Dwayne says, you know what? I'm still going to shoot my shot. So he crosses the room and he goes to start complimenting her and she cuts him off. She says, zip it, let's dance. Okay. This girl took control immediately. And Dwayne is surprised that she says yes to him. And she's like, I'd rather be you than some salamander. So really, he only got the dance because Whitley knew him and she is aware of who she is and she's not wasting her time on anybody new. They're dancing, it's looking all cutesy, and then Dwayne ruins it by getting fresh. He starts with his hands just going down Whitley's body and then puts his hands on her butt. Sir, keep your hands above water. That's not what this is. Whitley is like, no, ma'am. So she runs out of the pit. But that night, Whitley has a hot dream about none other than Dwayne Wayne. And when she gets up, you can tell she's kind of rattled. So Kimberly is asking her about it. And at first, Whitley's not owning up to who she had the dream about. Kim says, hey, I'm not going to make fun of you. I won't laugh. And she starts to guess. One of her guesses is Terrence Trent D'Arby. And my man caught it straight because Whitley said, ew, not that braided mop. Now what did he do to you? Okay? The disrespect was crazy. But she eventually tells her that she's had this hot dream about Dwayne. And Kim, of course, is cracking up because Dwayne Wayne still has this reputation around campus about being a clown. He hasn't lived that down. So she's like, ooh, in the dream, did his glasses steam up? She's making fun of Whitley real bad, but it's what friends do about little crushes. Just innocent, making fun of, nothing like too serious. Dwayne actually shows up to Whitley's room because she forgot about something, and he apologizes if he got a little fresh. First off, remove the if. You know that you got fresh and that you ran that girl off. So don't say if I got a little fresh. You did. Sorry, that's just a pet peeve of mine when people put ifs or buts in apologies. Just flat out, I'm sorry because I did this. Freddie, she sees them talking and she still looks like a lovesick puppy. Bless her heart. She's all about Dwayne. And I don't understand it. Eventually I will as the series goes on. But right now, I just don't understand it. She's like, oh my God, I gotta get his attention before Whitley steals him from me. She ends up writing him a little book with some poetry in it and giving him brownies. And she signs it as admirer. When we open in computer class, he's over here eating the brownies, trying to figure out, who wrote him this poem and who brought him the food. They're in this class and he is talking to a girl in the front. Whitley is asking Kim, who's that girl? She's jealous that another girl has Dwayne's attention. Whitley was down bad, okay? Just like Walter was down bad, Whitley's down bad. She has a whole dream montage about Dwayne throughout this class. He really did a number on this girl. I don't know what he put into that dance, but it changed her life. As she's having this dream, she obviously loses focus and then she freaks out because she's lost her computer paper. And Dwayne comes over there to help her. And she kisses him and then runs away. His response was, well, that tastes better than them brownies. Honey, the way I screamed. The scream I scrumped? What do you mean? Now in his head, he's like, Whitley's been acting really weird, and I got these brownies and this love poem. This must be coming from her. So he goes to his room, acting all macho, throwing off his jacket and all the things. And Kim lets him know that's Freddie's handwriting. That is not Whitley's. So he also says something like, well, I guess Christmas in Richmond, which is where Whitley is from, is out of the question. He sprints out of there. Whitley talks to Letty about her dream and admits that she's never taken a canoe ride in real life or in her dreams before. This dream was the first time that she's had that type of experience at all. Whitley is a virgin and she feels alone in that. Like when she hears a lot of the other girls, sharing their sexual experiences, she hasn't had one. Letty gives her solid grounding advice and lets her know that based on the things she hears, Whitley is not in this group alone and by herself. We end with Freddie and Whitley. They're talking and Freddie's like, I will stop my pursuit of Dwayne and he's yours. And Whitley's like, I messed up my chance with him. And she runs off. And then Dwayne, now knowing that Freddie is the one that left him the gifts, he comes in and he's like, oh, I like the brownies. Were these macadamia nuts? And she says that they were Brazil. And he says, how about I get us something to drink to wash them down with? Freddie is super happy and all this. As we are aware, she met Dwayne for 10 minutes and then decided that she's in love. Some behind the scenes tea, though, is Kadeem Hardison, who plays Dwayne, and Cree Summer, who plays Freddie, dated in real life for many, many years. I can't imagine watching my partner pretend to be in love with someone else on screen. You actors out there, kudos to y'all, because it could never be me. Another rewatch revelation that I had watching episode 4 is Whitley's vulnerability in her storyline. Under all her glam and her shade and her one-liners, she's just a young woman like anybody else in college navigating life. She's navigating desire and intimacy for the first time. Her dream sequence wasn't just comedy, it's her confronting what she actually wants. So she's like, oh my God, I'm actually into this man. How do I figure that out? And a lot of us have had this same experience. Watching this now, I see her softness in a new lens and a whole new way. But all right, y'all, that's episodes 3 and 4. I am going back to stare at my ring. I'm still left-handed, fiance era. But thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. And before you dip, go ahead and leave a rating and review. It really helps me grow, and it costs absolutely nothing to show your girl a little bit of love. For more nostalgia and chaos between episodes, though, which, reminder, drop every Sunday, follow at Rewatch Culture Pod on all your socials. Thanks for joining me today.